And welcome back to CentralCoastRadio.com. Well, another one of the films that is doing the rounds of Monster Fest now that Monster Fest Melbourne has wrapped up and is now going to Brisbane, Sydney, Perth, and Adelaide is the brand new Australian genre film Time Addicts. Now, this is the debut feature film directed by Sam Odlum, and Sam has based this on a short film that he did a few years ago. Now, this is a real genre bender, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. Now, when this film starts, you think it's going into Larry Clark territory. It feels like you're watching like Kids or Bully or something like that. It revolves around two characters. A complete mess up Johnny, played by Charles Grounds, who is riding around on a stolen bike in search of drugs with his friend Denise, played by Freya Tingley, who you quickly learn has had a pretty rough life herself. Now, they go to visit their drug dealer, Kane, played by Joshua Morton, to try and buy some crystal meth. But Johnny owes Kane money, and Kane says, "Mate, you're not getting any until you do a job for me." Denise is a little bit skeptical. She doesn't want to do this job. But Kane says, "Look, guys, you got to break into this old rundown house that's pretty much locked up. You need to go in and steal this duffel bag full of crystal meth." He says it's a special kind of meth. Don't smoke it, don't ingest it in any way, or you're going to regret it. Now, Denise initially doesn't want to do the job. Johnny talks her into it, so they end up in this creepy house and they go to steal the meth. But then they find themselves trapped. There is just no way out. No matter what they try to get out, they can't get out. And then Johnny decides that maybe he should give the meth a try. And that is when this becomes a time warped kind of film that soon introduces other characters, including Tracy, played by Elise Jansen, who I won't say too much about because the revelations about her character are pretty big spoilers. But this is actually kind of a hard film to talk about because going too far into the plot, it does become a spoiler. Because the thing that I love about Chris Odlum's, Sam Odlum, screenplay here is that it has so many twists and turns. There was times in this movie where I thought it was going to fall in a heap. I really thought that, nah, it's now becoming so twisted with time travel and stuff like that that it's going to fall over in a big heap and it's going to become an absolute mess. That doesn't happen. The twists and turns that you feel is going to make this movie become a mess is actually what leads this to an absolutely amazing finale that has revelations all the way through it. And it's so difficult to review because I want to say some of the things that happens because I love that they happened and I love that it all links together the way that it does. But in doing so, I would be ruining the experience for anybody else that watches the film because I think you need to go into this film and you need to go through those frustrations of times when you think, what is going on? What is going to happen here? This movie is a mess. You need those moments to then know how brilliant it actually is at the end when it all comes together. Now, Sam Odlum actually manages to get some amazing performances out of his cast as well. Charles Grounds is unrecognizable as this drugged up loser Johnny, and he is absolutely amazing in the role. Freya Tingley, again, fantastic as Denise. There's so much that happens to her character, but she is just sensational, while Joshua Morton has this presence around him that means whenever Kane is on the screen, you feel for the safety of Johnny and Denise because he just is such a dangerous character. This film is made on a pretty low budget, but it just goes to show how good Australian filmmakers are at making something really, really special when they're working with such a low budget. It's very claustrophobic because apart from the first few scenes at the start, most of it is set inside this house where they are trapped. And even by using that house as almost a character in itself, Sam Odlum does an absolutely amazing job. The time travel elements to it adds so much to it, but it's just so creative and so different. I can't wait to see what Sam Odlum does next. And Charles Grounds, Joshua Morton, and Freya Tingley. This is one of the best ensemble performances by a cast I've seen in a long, long time. They are all amazing. I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5. Like I said, be prepared for the film to be frustrating at times. There will be times when you feel like this movie is about to fall in a heap and not work, but it all comes together with this well plotted out finale where everything links in. And yeah, so 4 out of 5 for Time Addicts for me. Definitely go along and check it out if you get a chance to see it at Monster Fest in your capital city.